everybody, it's Frank! Welcome back to the channel! What's going on? Daddy's home! You guys don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I got, Anyway. If you don't like them, just, don't let the door hit you in the ass. Anyway. Man, I'm telling you, man, just, how long has it been? Nice. We gotta keep this momentum going, right? A lot of work has to be done. I like the tone, right? I kind of like you're not gonna do this? Well, then we're gonna do this. So, people are buckling, right? It's time to get back to work, right? We gotta work, we're just underlings, right? We gotta work. And guys, I don't know what's going on with the audio of this camera right here. I don't know, okay? I thought it was me, and I was doing something where, for my other channel, for my Magic cards. And, I'm recording the cards right now in my face, right? So I'm kind of talking behind the camera, right? But I'm right in there, and I've done it several times. Never really had it, and it sounds like the audio sounds like I'm real far away, right? So if you can, please turn up the audio. I looked at my end, and it has my microphones there. It's picking it up, and I have it as max. I can't, I don't know. I had a recent software, so I'm going to blame that because I can't think of anything else. As an engineer, it's It's really annoying because the audio was actually okay, and when I listened to it, it didn't sound all that good. So thank you for watching my last video, which was the major unboxing of my silver. So it looks like a lot of people watched it. So thank you for coming. If you're back again, thanks for coming by. Thanks for stopping by. Glad you guys checked that out. Today, unfortunately, we don't have any silver or gold to show you. However, very soon we might. So tomorrow, I was supposed to have my review with my boss, and then he rescheduled it for Tuesday. I kind of was well, maybe that's better because, hey, we work from home on Fridays, right? So I was in the, end of the month, and I was yikes, I don't think I'm getting, but hey, you never know, right? I always say, hey, you can't be too cocky, right? So I doubt it, but yeah, I'm pretty sure I got a decent review. So with that, right, I take my however big it is. I don't know how big I caught a fish and it was this big. Why is my other hand? There we go. My other hand, there we go. It's this big, right? So I take a portion of it, right? So whatever, call it whatever that number is. So I normally take at least 10%. Up, no more than, some years I was doing 50% of my whatever the bonus I got. I was heavily buying gold and silver for a length of time, but I haven't done that in quite some time. But I do use that. I still take a portion and I buy it. So I haven't bought a gold eagle. I used to buy one gold eagle every year. The bullion one. I used to buy the ones from the mint, but they're just, the prices are, they're just, it's stupid. I mean, gold's already at what, 26? I don't know. It just kind of keeps creeping up there. So, and then I used to buy other gold, right? I'd get normal, just a 1 ounce bar, right? I'd get some pretty generic stuff because the premiums on those are much lower. So anyway, with that said, I just wanted to say that in the future, there'll probably be something. Might just be one gold coin. I don't know. We'll figure out what I get, and then I'll divvy it up. I'll put the order in, and so it probably won't come for maybe at least 2 weeks because I don't think we actually get paid our bonus until the end of February. But if I know kind of what I'm getting, I can at least take 10%. Anyway, long story. Sorry about that. But anyway, yeah. So getting back to business, right? Did you hear the one person got fired from, I think it was the FDA inspector, and she's like, "Oh, I don't have to listen to the commander in chief. I'm above him." they had they had to escort her out. Security had to come by. Like, what? What do these people think? Right? They're above the law, right? Like, hey man, all those illegals that like killed people, we're finally putting them on planes and getting them out of here. It's like, dude, I mean, we're gonna probably have a whole, I don't know, probably the next 6 months packing people like sardines on these big, damn planes and getting them back. I can't believe it. We gotta pay to send these stupid boneheads back to their country, and they're criminals in their country, right? They come over here. Anyway, don't get me. I don't want to go down this road. Anyway, I just wanted to see if you guys know what's kind of been going on in the world, right? Crypto up, down, round. Oh, that's right. Today was Fed Day. Guess what happened? That's right. Nothing happened. I knew nothing would happen. And I think March, is their next. They're alluding maybe there's a cut, but they're only talking about 2 cuts for the whole year. So if you're thinking you're going to go out and get a good mortgage, I'm sorry to tell you, you're not going to get it. Anyway, my throat's scratchy, so I got my water, okay? Real quick, all right? You don't like that, sue me, all right? Sue me. Talk to my lawyer, man. I don't have a lawyer. Well, I do, but I don't. You know what I mean? I don't have him on. He's not on retainer. So, yeah. What have I been doing? I told you guys. My thing is on autopilot. My 401k on autopilot. My crypto purchases, it does little microtransactions every day, right? Like, seriously, like, there's some of these coins that I buy. It's $1 a day, guys. So I know, right? It adds up. That's like $30 each coin, right? And you got like 5 coins. It's $150. It's $150. Again, I get it. Like, if you don't have a lot of money, I understand. I'm just saying, like, for me, like, I technically my work puts more in 401k than that money, right? So I got a lot of catching up to do from a crypto standpoint. But I still feel like there's going to be a buying opportunity, right? So anyway, with that aside, one thing, and I don't know if you guys want this, right? So this is kind of like a smorgasbord video, right? Just Frank's back. I just shaved recently. I was getting kind of scruffy. I mean, to be honest, my hair, like, I haven't cut it in a while, and it's doing, like, right here. See how the hair, see like that? It just bugs the shit out of me. Like, I can fix this if I put my gel on, but when I'm, like, in the wintertime, I'm cold. So I wear a hat. So if I put it on, I put the hat on, take it off, it just looks worse, right? So I don't know. Probably, I don't know. We'll see. I want to cut it in a week, and this is what happens. Every time I'm like, okay, I'm going to cut you, and then all of a sudden the hair behaves for like a week or something. I'll tell you, it just works that way, whether or not it's actually doing that. It just, I don't know. It feels like it's got mind. But anyway, so yesterday, I went to Harbor Freight. I love Harbor Freight. Like, I like Harbor Freight better than Home Depot. Just because Home Depot is kind of, I don't want to say overrated or overpriced. I'm more of like a mechanic. Like, I used to do a lot of home improvements. I did a rehab of a house, right? So I tend to do a lot of my own work as well, right? But a lot of people go there to improve on something. Like, I go to Home Depot because I need something because like a pipe busted or something, right? Like, that's why I go to Home Depot, right? It's like, all right, can I get, $10 worth of stuff, right? And then just fix it, right? That's how I am, I don't go there, spend $3,000 for new tile, right? Like, I got tile in here. I'm not going to bust it up. It looks fine, right? Like, right, my carpet's like 9 years old. I mean, I probably should have that replaced, but it's not horrible. I got, like, in my bedroom, it's starting to get the little waves. So anyway, what I wanted to show was some of the stuff that I got, and I got I just shoved it in this Amazon box. I had all these bags. A little bit easier. Now I know I can't show you everything. One of the items. Sorry, I'm got a squeaky wheel here. One of the items that I got was like it's like a mechanic's chair, I guess. But it's like a heavy duty one. It's got like a little spot underneath it for like tools and stuff. But I just did that because when I'm out there, sometimes it's it's just you gotta bending over for long hours, man. Your lower back definitely feels it. So anyway, that's just so huge. And then there's like one or two things that I left in the garage. I think I got like this big. It's really big, guys. I don't know why I didn't buy it earlier, but it's like a big I don't want. It's like it's telescoping, if you will. You can unscrew it and make it longer, right? And it's got this big head. Like I'm telling you, like I'm not kidding. Probably this big of like a magnet, right? It's funny because I'm like, why didn't I get this earlier? Because I've always dropped bolts, right? And I'm like, I can't quite, if it's on the ground, right? And I don't have a lift, right? So I'm like, hey, I'll just get one of these little things, just so it makes my life a little bit easier. You get older, so anyway, of course. I mean, I could have bought so much more stuff, but I actually bought stuff that I do use. Okay, so, and I've been wanting these for a while. So I got this is kind of like a flashlight, if you will, right? But it's got a magnet on the bottom. So if you're working or whatever, right? Like I remember as a kid, my dad's like, hold the flashlight, kid. And I'm like, I'm holding it. And he's like, no, here. Right? I'm pretty sure I'm trying to do the right thing, right? I'm like, oh my gosh, Dad's mad, right? And I'm pretty sure he's just like, I want to get the, fuck out of here. Pardon my French. He's like, yeah, I gotta get out, right? So, but yeah, you can kind of put this in. It's actually pretty bright. It's got 300 lumens. But it's more like a pocket one, right? So I can kind of put it as I'm working in my pocket, right? So more for like, hey, a little bit more brighter and like keep it with the car type of work. Here's another one. It's like a big wand, right? Same thing, but this part right here, it actually, you can see the arrow there. It actually flexes, right? I think technically, this one doesn't. This is basically just you can use it as like a flashlight and then like as a torch sort of. Yeah, this one's 800, so this one's a lot brighter, okay? But it has a magnet too. Not only is it bigger, but it's much stronger. And yeah, I was trying this thing. I think we can. I hope I don't blind myself here. Whoa! See? But I'm not gonna put it directly. Yeah, but look at that. Look at that. Oh my, damn! I did kind of look at it for a second. Yeah. Anyway, and then I think you can try this one too. Can you try this one? Sometimes I wonder if I'm blind. Yeah, I'm like, oh, is that the power button? I'm looking right at it, right? So this is actually not too bad. This says it's like 300. This one's actually pretty bright for just 300. So, and there's like 2 settings on that one. Yeah. So anyway, been meaning to get these for so long. I think I got this one for like. Hang on, the blue one for like 15. I think this one was like on sale for like 20. It's normally like $50. Oh, and there was a bigger one. Oh, gee. Anyway, like I'm like a kid in a candy shop when I'm at that place. All right. So another thing I've been trying to want to get for years are these. They call them stubbies, right? And they're real small, right? So it's stubby, right? So I think this was like $15. And I'm like, why did I not? Because every once in a while, right, you can't get your ratchet in there. The ratchet's too long. And these, not only are they stubby, right, but if you guys notice, these actually bend. They're flexible there, right? So perfect, right? Like, so, I mean, back in the day, this stuff would cost hundreds. Now, again, right, like, I don't know how long is it going to last? I don't know. It lasts, their stuff, I don't know. I tell you, like, 15 years ago, it wasn't as good. I don't know what it is. They've gotten better quality out of the Pittsburgh stuff. So I mean, for the money, right? I mean, I could probably buy 10 of these for every one Snap-on tool, right? So if it breaks, I just buy another one. It'll still be cheaper, right? But, I'm more of a weekend warrior, right? So, yeah, these will definitely come in handy. I may not use them as frequently, but yeah, right? And so that was a good pickup. What else did we get in here? Oh, yeah, door boring, just, magnetic dishes. You can put your, parts holder in here. What's nice is that it's magnetic, right? So you can just put it with the car, right? When I was working with my buddy, we went to this place that had a hoist, right? And I'm just putting it, because the pillars for the hoist is metal, right? So I'm just pop, right? And I'm like, I wish I had more, right? So I had 2 of them. And I'm like, let me go get 2 more. So they actually stick together pretty well. So what else is in here? Oh, yeah, this is another ratchet. I've been meaning to get this one for a long time, too, but this one might be a little more, special, right? So it's not quite... Oh, sorry, guys. It's like everything's backwards. I hate this. It's kind of stubby, but if you notice, it has a flexible head here and here. So you can do crazy stuff like this, right? This is a ratchet, right? So, right, like that. So instead of like this, right? Like a normal ratchet, right? So the concept here is that you may not, right, or you can't put an extension, right, or the extension can't go straight, right? So you might have something where I can't get an extension right here and go this way, right? So again, this wasn't that expensive, right? This is actually a pretty decent quality. They actually have a high, I think it's called Icon, Harbor Freight has. But yeah, this one feels pretty good. It's actually chrome plated really nicely. Like I said, for the money, and the quality's gotten much better. Right? You'd be surprised, a lot of repair shops, they have a lot of non-Snap-on, and they're starting to pick up. It's starting to get like that. Here's another magnetic thing. Yeah, I know. I kind of. Dude, I think this was $2, $3, right? You just have them. I think a mat. I don't know why. I must have lost mine, right? So, again, this was a $2, I don't know. I probably should have bought another one, but yeah. So this is just it's actually telescoping, right? You don't have to get down on the floor, or if you're gonna go buy a car, right, and you don't wanna, you don't have a lift, right? Just right, again, it's one of those easy things. This is more of a, yeah, I know, it's what? It says permanent marker, but it's not what you think, okay? It's not here, I got them right here. These, it's not like a Sharpie, right? I like these ones, they're nice and fat, right? These are good for putting on, cardboard boxes, but plastics in that, it just wipes right off, right? It's not, they're not quite pen pens. And I do have pen pens already. I bought some from Amazon. Actually, those are a really good deal. It's more like a job site marker. And it tells me back here on the back, right? Wood, looks like concrete, PVC, did I say concrete already? Yeah, it looks like maybe metal, steel. So, we're going to try these out. I don't know. I think this was again another $2. Oh, that's right. I wanted to try it on plastic. I was going to use my paint pens on my recycle bin. I was going to put my address on. One of my neighbors mentioned that, and I was like, why didn't I think of that? Right? I should put don't put my name on it, but put the address on it. I don't care. I don't care if people know if I live here or not. But yeah. So if they don't necessarily work, I can just use them as permanent markers. I don't know. Anyway, like I said, for the price, I was just happening to be going down the aisle, right? And I was just like, oh, what's that, right? This was on sale too, and I don't know what happened. I had this is a digital multimeter. If you don't know what a multimeter, it is basically just, it measures volts, right? So this one in particular, it's got an audible continuity that means like you have a complete circuit, right? So you don't have like you have like an open to circuit, right? If you don't know that, we can go talk about that later. I'm a mechanical, but I'm also an electrical. Um, but it can read 12 volt systems on a car. Your 120 or 220 in a house. That's AC, and I think that's three phase. I can't remember all of that, but yeah, I don't know what happened to mine. I'm part of the Inside Track member, so I think this ended up being like $13, and like I call it the budget one that they had was actually technically more. So this actually came in handy, and I think just buying this made up for what I paid, because I think the membership's like $15 a year. So I basically say basically made up for it. So I'm already making a quote unquote save. And I've been meaning to buy these forever. These are stupid. These are they're stupid, but buy them, okay? They're little flashlight things, but I forgot they had a magnet. And like every time I go, I'm like, oh yeah, I need to pick those up. Oh yeah, it's like, how you go to the grocery store and I don't know. This is me, okay? So you're just like, oh yeah, that's Frank. He always forgets something, right? I don't know. So it was funny because the Inside Track members, these were on sale. So these are like normally like $1.80, right? So it's already cheap, right? But because I'm Inside Track, it's 80 cents. So I got $1 off, and I'm like, oh hey, I'll buy two, right? But no, they have little magnets, so you can put them on something metal, right? And they got these little hooks, right there, And look at that, twists around like that. I mean, the lighting ain't like, I don't think it's like super bright. What do you guys think? Whoa. So it's not bad, right? Anyway. Yeah, you can always put it on the ground, right? Like I said, for 80 cents. You can also use, another thing too is, I haven't really talked about it. I did kind of mention like I was a pseudo prepper, right? So I kind of have what they call a bug out bag, right? So I call it my backpacking pack. And I can't recall, my ex-girlfriend and her daughter used to live here. We used to go camping, and like part of it to kind of make it fun, right, was like, all right, we're gonna take our backpacks, right, and see what we have in there, kind of like use, kind of like a test run, right? We didn't have, we're just like, all right, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, all right, don't use that, right? And I think I put like one or two, like I think put one in her daughter's backpack, and I can't remember. I don't know. So I might have more of these. Like I have like these two bins of like, I think I have like all my camping gear. Like I think I have one for like a tent that I have, right? And then I have like other gear that's more camping, and then I have like these other big trunks that are, I don't want to say military, but they're kind of like that, right? Like I have like winter wear, but it's camo. It's like maybe more hunter's gear. That's it. So it's more like hunter's gear, but I do have some military surplus stuff. So with that said, like I said, 80 cent. Like I was gonna buy like 10 of them. I'm like, all right, well, Frank, let's not get out of hand here, right? So I'm making a mess in here. Anyway, here's another just random thing. I probably don't necessarily need it, but it was on sale, like $3. Yeah, what the hell are these, right? So you can use your drill. Yeah. It's almost time for me to go to bed nighttime. Okay, I don't know what, man. I came home, I was tired. Okay, sometimes in the winter I just get tired. But anyway, so instead of buying an impact, like I think I showed you guys during Christmas. Like I got these a 3/8 and a 1/2 inch, right? Oh, and I used them. Oh my gosh, I love them. I should have bought these years ago. They work really good. I didn't think they worked that good. So we are definitely going to probably buy some more batteries. But I have like 3 batteries for those too. So that might be more for later on this year. That maybe hopefully Santa Claus come by. But long story short, So you can use these in those because they have a you just screw it right. You put the drill bit. Some of them have like a quick speed attachment, but you can just put these right because it has the same end right there. It's hard to see it right there. Right there where my finger is. You see that right? It's hexed right. So you can put that in your drill, and then it has these features right here. So there's a quarter, and there's a 3/8, and then there's a half. So you can use your drill as kind of like an impact. Now, it's whatever your drill power is, right? Typically, drills don't have as much power. Like I have a small handheld one. I actually technically have two. I have a hammer drill one, so that's like heavy duty. That's probably if I was going to use it, do that. But I just have an impact, so I don't care, right? But you never know, right? Like if you need this as a backup, right? Or you want to use, like I said, I have a small like Black & Decker one, and it's much smaller, right? And it's like real light to use, right? So you could use this, right? Maybe you're not using, you don't need a lot of torque, right, to take a nut off or something. But like I said, I don't even think it was $3. It was like $2. So it was like, yeah, all right. This is one of those things that I probably will use one day, but just like, all right, for the cost, it just doesn't matter, right? So, oh yeah, this, I just got this. This was like $2 too. I don't know why. This is a name brand. This is Ames. Is like, they do a bunch of stuff for electrical. Their tools are high end, but they sell, this is, you plug it in the wall, right? Your outlet in the wall, and you can plug this in, right? And it'll light up saying that if it was wired well or if it wasn't wired. It'll have different lights here to indicate, what was wired or not. But you can also put these in to make sure that, when you plug it in, if you're trying to make sure that there's no power to it, right, you can plug it in and make sure there's power on it. Oh, there's power on there. And then you can go to your breakers or whatnot, right? So, again, like $2, I don't know. Again, I call it, I don't want to say easy, but stuff that homeowners could do, right? And again, I think a lot of people just, either they're scared or they don't know, right? So I'm trying to tell you guys can do a lot. I'm telling you. My dad tried to do everything. I don't know if he would have done electrical. I think that's one. So he probably would be very proud of me. So, I just saw this. Like, I don't know. We're going to kind of test one out. I'm on the fence. Again, I think I got this. Was this like $1.50, $2? But yeah, I'm gonna probably use it for what it's. I have this extension cord, right? And it's kind of messy. All right, so like if I put it on here, right? It's kind of like a dog leash almost, like, right? So just it has a release, and then you put it back in. But then it's got this hook feature, right? You can use it as a carrying thing. But you can also put it hanging up on your garage, right? So we're going to find out if I like this one. This might actually be, but it's only $2, so am I going to go back to return it? Probably not. Just a bunch of bungee cords. Again, like $2, $3. They're kind of small, and I actually need some small ones. Now, they had a couple different packs. I probably might need some later, but I'm like, you know what? I don't need them. So when I do my brake jobs or whatnot, to hang the calipers, so they're not hanging by the brake pad or the brake hose. Normally I hook it up on like the springs on the strut. I know you guys probably may not know what the hell I'm talking about, and we can show that. Like if you guys want, I can show you like how to check your brake pads. I can show you how to do it. I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of YouTube people, but you can at least, I've always said, go ahead and watch it, and then maybe you still go take it in, right? It's always good knowledge, right? At least, even if you have someone else do the work, it's actually really good to know how it's being done. Again, my engineering in me, right? But again, like I don't know how many, and they're kind of small, and you can use these for so many things. And again, if you're like a mild prepper, like get this. They sell like parachute cord That's always a good thing to get. Just stock up on some parachute cord. I mean, after like 10 different, after like 500 feet of rope, I don't think you need any more. I got this for like $1 or $2. What the hell are these? Yeah, well, oh, hey, it says it right there. Magnetic hook set. They're magnetic. I got the drawers that I have outside are metal. I got these like cabinets on my garage wall that have drawers. That's why I messed up. So I figured I could put these on hooks on there and just hang. I don't know if I'm gonna hang. I mean, I probably could hang tools, but for the most part, it's probably gonna be like I call it miscellaneous tools, right? So I figured I'd buy it. So I call it. In the springtime, I plan on doing a lot of organization. So, oh hey, another magnetic tool. This one's like more smaller. And I think I kind of have one similar to this one. So I always figured, hey, it's always good to have one or two because I like to have like one toolbox where I have some of this stuff in here, but then I also like to have some at the house. So then, if I'm mobile or if I take a box, right, like I know they're in there, and then I don't have to worry about finding all this stuff. But again, if you're not mobile, you probably don't really care, right? And then, at least the last thing in the box are these universals. I had them. I think when I was, when I got unemployed and I was selling everything. I think the what do they call that guy? The pawn guy. Yeah, pawn shop. Yeah, guy that owned a pawn shop. I had all these tools and whatnot. And I said, hey, I was moving out of my, I was getting foreclosed on, so yeah, I had to leave the house, right? But yeah, I had a lot of tools, and I was just like, all right, I got, I can't keep all of it. I kept some of it. I had a lot of stuff that I was just like, all right, I want to keep my metric. So some of the things, and one of them was definitely I was like, well, I probably won't need it, right? Yeah, these were on sale too. Like I'm telling you guys, like 3, 4. There's so many things there. They're like you want to say Five Below. There are so, they're not really meant for impact. So these are just meant for your hand tool. I would like to get the impact ones. They're a lot more, obviously. You could use these in a pinch, but yeah, as long as you're not torquing the heck out of them, right? Because these aren't meant to have that much impulse load onto it. But yeah, I know stuff that Frank wants. There's so much more Frank wants. There's like they call them wobble. I can't even talk. Sorry, guys. Wobble sockets where it's not just because the socket's like this long, right? And it goes straight into the. Hang on, I'll get this ratchet. Oh no! How did my little light fell on the ground and it somehow turned on? So here's the right. So what was it called? Oh yeah. So the wobble, right? So it's hard to see it. I gotta take it up. So it goes right on the end right here, right? And it just goes straight, right? Well, they call them wobble because when it attaches here, it actually flexes. So see how this one flexes right here, right? Right? You think that would be enough, right? Well, sometimes you don't want the point of rotation there. You want it up here, right? So it's not a necessary thing, but it's one of those things that it's like, again, you keep doing more and more, right? Some of these tools can actually help, right? So do I need them right now? No. Am I going to buy them anytime soon? No. Might I buy them this year? We'll find out. I don't know. There's a lot of other tools that I think they're going to be probably more in priority. I also kind of need some larger wrenches. I noticed I had a couple sizes that I didn't have. And the big wrenches cost a lot. Like per wrench, it's like $30. So yeah, and it's not like a ratchet. It's like basically you're paying it looks like a, something you could like, you probably could kill someone with it, with these things. So, but they have one where even the, like, if you guys see like a normal, like they call them box wrenches, right? So it's like got the circle end, right, and it's got the claw, right. So that's the open. They call that the open end, right, because it's open, right, but it looks like a claw, right. And let's say it's a 13 millimeter, right? It's 13 mil on each side, right? So I can use the claw end or the other end, right? But they're normally straight, right? Well, they have some that are like curved, but they also have some where it's just like this one, right? Where the end, right? It'll pivot. So, right? Because I'd rather have the, like, if I'm gonna get the flat one, and I don't have the flat one, I might as well get the one that pivots, and then I don't need the flat one, right? But those cost even more, right? So I'm telling you, like I said, I have. I'm telling you, I wish I had more like clients, right, guys? Like, I work on my car, man, and like I said, I mean, the only thing that I couldn't, like, I don't want to say guarantee the work, right? Like, obviously, if I'm working on a car, I'd be like, hey, man, like, I'm, like, if I mess it up, I'm gonna, take care of you, right? Like, that's on me, right? But like, I'll be looking at the car and be like, hey, this is here, like, I can do this, but this car is so old, this nut here, it might take a while to get it off, right? Or this other thing might happen, and that's why I know a lot of mechanics aren't mechanics anymore, especially at like certain shops that. People come in with their cars, and the mechanics are trying to do the right thing. There's obviously shady people everywhere, right? There's bad apples everywhere. Trust me. That's why it's better to know. Like I said, it's better to know this stuff, right? Know what the parts are, right? Know some, kind of some. You don't have to know every little thing, right? But the more you know, that means the less you can not get scammed. That's why I encourage that, right? And like I said, you don't have to do this stuff. It's really good to know like how to do it, and you may not know how to like physically do it, but all right, this is, you gotta do this, you gotta do this, you gotta do this, right? You gotta, right? But with that said, though, like a lot of people take these cars in, right? And, they're scamming me. It's like, no, this, I gotta take this off, and if I take this off, like I'll tell you, but there's a chance that like there might be more damage in here, and I don't know until I. So do you want me to do that, or do you want to just? And then they say they do it, and then they look at it and they show the customer, and the customer's all pissed off. So right. So I wouldn't want just like and most shops I think you have to have some type of liability insurance or something like that. So I'd probably be trying to do it more like, hey, I'm a buddy of mine, and it's like, all right, well, this is your car. Technically, you're working on it, but I'm working on it, type of thing, right? And a lot of people, hey, people, the general public probably would have a problem with that, right? So that's kind of why, right? But, I could do that, right? But do I want the liability? Right? It sounds like a lot of money, right? So, yeah, anyway. With that said, this is a long video. Oh my gosh! I was showing you my tools. Sorry. I couldn't help. Come on. Anyway, what tool did you guys like the most, right? Do you want to see any of these tools in action? If not, that's fine. Or is there a job? Like, is there anything like on a car? Like any like work that you want to do? Or maybe you're curious about, right? Like I said, there's a lot of things that I think even as a car owner you should know. And again, you don't have to do the physical work, right? But you should know like what it takes to do the brakes, right? You don't have to actually do it, right? But it's actually very knowledgeable, I think. So, is there stuff like that? Like, hey, how to change a tire? I've been hearing a lot of people, they don't know how to do that, right? I can also show you, like, make sure that things are safe, right? Because that's, I don't know. My mom's always worried about that, and I don't know, right? Your mom, right? But it's like ironic, right? I'm like, Mom, I've been doing this before you knew I was doing this, right? And I'm pretty sure Dad wasn't as safe as I was. Yeah, he's old school. I mean, he didn't. I mean, he probably wasn't the safest guy, but he wasn't dumb, right? But But yeah, I always make sure I'm pretty safe, right? But my mom's always worried. I'm just like, I'm super safe when I put stuff on the jack, right? I'm like, no, I gotta use the wheel locks. I gotta, you know. And then even when I have it up, right, I always like shake the thing, make sure it doesn't, right? There's no movement, or if the movement's here, right? It's like, all right, the movement's here, but it can't go this way, right? Like, okay, it's like this, but the rest of the car is fully supported, right? So, and then I always try to limit my, if I go underneath the car, I try to limit how long I'm in there. Obviously, when I was working on the Camaro last year, or the year before, that was, yeah, I had to have that thing up in the air, and I had to go all the way in the middle of the car. But I had like 6 jack stands all over the place. I had it all on the body, right? And then I had to support the transmission because I was taking one of the transmission mounts out. So, I mean, like, all the stuff wasn't going anywhere, And then when you're down there, you're just trying to... But anyway, right? So it'd be good to know, like, how to take your tire off, right? What, you can always, like, take... Because, like, if you can know how to take your tire off, right, then you can... Hey, the brakes are right there, right? And I think that in some cars you can actually see the pad wear. It might be a little harder, right? But I tend to take the caliper off, but there should be a window on the caliper, and then you should see the back ends of the pads, right? And you'll be able to tell. And it's like, oh, what am I looking at, Frank, right? So I can kind of show you, like, hey, here's the actual metal, and here's the actual pad, right? And then on some of the cars, you might see the wear. There's like a metal strip. Like if you go to brakes and your car goes like that, that's probably the wear indicator. Like, your brakes are fine, right? The wear indicator when it starts doing that, it's annoying. They do that on purpose, right? Now, if it's been doing that for like 3 years, yeah, your rotors are probably toast now, right? Like you need a lot of work, right? But I can show you that. Is there other things, right? Like I said, guys, I've done a lot of things on a car. If not, if there's, I don't know, something in the house that you want to do, right? Put it down below. Come on, guys. But yeah, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for entertaining. I know I'm entertaining you, but you're entertaining me, right? You're stopping by, saying hello to the boss. The new boss is in town, right? The new sheriff's around, right? But yeah, man, we'll get through this. With that said, have a good night, and I'll see you soon, all right? Take good care. Bye.